All right. Hey, welcome everybody. Look, three people. Sorry, my eyes
I
blurred and the
am,
three looked like an eight
I
for a
am
second.
here. I didn't see my face for a minute. I thought
Yeah.
perhaps you had
So anyway,
zombified
three
me,
people. All
but
right.
I'm
So anyway,
here.
it's Wednesday night. That means it's time for Sci-Fi Distilled, and it's probably like our favorite month of the year. I think for us, it's Halloween month. So of course we are doing Halloween stuff, and tonight we're decided, and we're going to do this, I guess, for the rest of the month. Our top
Yes.
3 zombie films, and these are each of ours. So there's 6 total, and then of course we have some honorable mentions. And so next week, I think, what are we going to do? We were going to do vampires or werewolves or something. I don't know.
Vampires or werewolves?
Maybe it was vampires. I don't know. And then aliens, I think, was the last one. Right?
I asked for aliens, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I love
then
me some good aliens.
And then yes, and I did confirm with Roy, by the way, the Wednesday before Halloween will be the crossover on our show. We agreed that it made more sense since Friday we're going to be at the set tour, actually on Halloween when Roy would do his show. So it just makes more sense what we were doing. So I don't know what we're going to do. Roy did make a suggestion. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head. If anybody has a suggestion on what you guys want us to do for the Sci-Fi Distilled / Roy Sci-Fi Corner, and I'm sure I probably got that wrong, but somewhere in there, what you would like us to do?
I suggested Monster Squad.
You suggested Monster Squad. I know that's a Chris LaRoche favorite.
I told Roy, I'm like, Chris really wants Monster Squad.
It was something much older.
It was like Attack of the Killer Pumpkins or Attack of the Killer.
Yes, that's Attack of the Killer Pumpkins or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah,
that's what it was. You're right. I have not seen that, so we'll see. We usually like to pick out something really silly and ridiculous to talk about.
Yeah,
it's almost like we challenge each other to find something really weird. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we get into our picks for the night, I assume we have news. We always have news.
We have just the tiniest bit of news, but it is something that we can discuss, and I would be interested in hearing your thoughts on some of this, Rizzo. Witcher season 4 at Liam Hemsworth, that kicks off, speaking of Halloween in October, that's kicking off October 30th. Just a reminder that Stranger Things is coming in Thanksgiving. Sometimes it's a single line in a show or a film that inspires a sequel or a spin-off. And in Lord of the Rings, it's mentioned in both the movie and in the films. I mean, in the movie and in the books, that Gandalf and Aragorn both attempted to find Gollum before he fell into Sauron's hands. And in the movies, it's one line. Like in the movies, Gandalf's like, I searched for everywhere for the creature Gollum, but the Dark Lord found him first. Well, that one little line is turning into something called Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. We don't know anything about it. I don't know when it's coming. It sounds like it's shaping up to be quite a reunion for the cast and crew. We're going to have Andy Serkis should be back. They think Ian McKellen will come back. They think Viggo Mortensen will come back. They think Orlando Bloom will come back, and they think Elijah Wood will come back. But none of this is confirmed yet. Rizzo, how do you feel about these things? Like, is it just too thin? Is it just too thin a plot line, or is it a good idea? Is it well anchored, or is it just?
That's the thing. They've kind of certainly they've done the movies, and there are no other books. Well, there's the Silmarillion, which I guess is sort of where they're which I guess is really the prequel, right? So they're kind of doing that already on whatever it is. Who's doing it? Amazon Prime?
Is it Amazon Prime? Probably.
Rings of Power or something. So they're kind of doing that already. So yeah, they're running out of stuff to milk that franchise. So the only way they can do it is try to pull things out that, I mean, they stretched The Hobbit out to 3 movies, for God's sakes.
Yes, they really did.
I mean,
they really did.
It wasn't necessary to make that 6 hours or more of film was kind of ridiculous for The Hobbit.
It really was.
So I don't know. It'll probably go well. It's a huge franchise. It's very popular.
It's a huge franchise, very popular, but the Rings show that was on Amazon Prime wasn't super popular.
No, there's a lot of controversy.
The original cast members are, so maybe.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say. I'm not opposed to this at all. If it's done well, it's done as well as the first 3 movies were. the story is compelling, there's enough action in it to keep you going and interested, then it's fine. It's just like Star Wars pulling out, Rogue One, and that kind of thing. And how they're saying, I think it's the same kind of thing where they're just pulling out different stories within the universe.
Yeah. Just there's something about realizing it was based on one tiny line. But then, I started thinking about it, and that's been done before. Like, they've done that before, where they put out one little detail.
That's not a really. I mean, it just gave them say, well, see, it's canon.
Gives them a door. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how they get that. Well, it's canon because they mentioned it. So that's what my point is. They'll pull. Other franchises have done that, where they'll pull something very minute from something and then make it a thing. So it's
a thing. All right, moving on with the news tonight. Tina Romero. Tina Romero is George Romero's daughter, and George Romero, of course, is the king of zombies. We will be talking about him tonight. But Tina Romero is doing a drag zombie comedy, a zomcom. It's called Queens of the Dead. It's coming out October 24, just in time for Halloween. It's described as a big gay glam zomcom. I think it could be fun.
And what is this, a movie or is this on?
It's a movie. Yeah, it's a movie. It's coming in theaters everywhere. I think it could be fun. And then finally tonight, Star Trek. There was a little slip of the tongue. Actually, not a slip of the thumb, I should say. We found out by accident because a cast member made an Instagram post. She was trying to show off her prosthetic makeup that she's going to be wearing in the show, and she was praising the makeup and costume departments, and she ended it by saying, "See you in January of 2026." And she has since edited that to say, "See you in early 2026." It has not officially been announced that Starfleet Academy will be out in January 2026, but that's what we're all banking on now since that happened. And then speaking of Star Trek, do you remember, Rizzo, last week or the week before, when I reported that at Star Trek Las Vegas, Brandon Braga was calling for longer seasons? That sentiment has been agreed with and picked up on and run with. Den of Geek ran an article with the title, "It's time to admit that Star Trek needs longer seasons." However, which is kind of interesting because all year long, especially around the release of Section 31, but all year long, all I heard was Star Trek is dying, including your favorite YouTuber, The Critical Drinker. He did a video about 9 months ago.
Don't put words in my mouth. I don't agree with him often. I just think sometimes his takes are pretty. He does have good angles on things.
Sometimes he does, but he did a video about 9 months ago called "Star Trek is a Dead Brand." So which is it, kids? Is Star Trek dead or dying, or is it time to admit that Star Trek
clearly a lot of people? There's clearly a lot of people that like Strange New Worlds. Okay, I have friends that are my age that are casual Star Trek fans, and they go, "Oh, I know that you're going to say that this is bad and that's bad," because they know.
But I'm having fun, right?
But I like it, they'll say. But I like it. So maybe they're doing something. So that makes me think maybe they are doing something right in the sense for the general public. But and that, I don't know. Here's the problem with something like Strange New Worlds or any of their shows that are live action is to expand them to even 15 episodes. Can they afford it? Are they making enough money on this Paramount Plus streaming? And they took a hit with the Colbert
thing. How we all just canceled. Yeah,
a lot of people canceled. I think they're struggling. I think all the streaming services are struggling. I think maybe Netflix is probably the only one that's making money because they are the first, really. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of and also the Netflix people kind of stay apolitical, slightly left, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I think that's the case. I think it's great, and it's great that people are agreeing with it. But the reason I don't think it was a choice to say, we're just going to do 10 episodes and let them eat cake. The rest the hell with the fans. But I think it was just money. It cost too much. I mean, if you look at Strange New Worlds, regardless of whether you think of the writing, the effects and the look of the show is the production values are very good.
Cool.
There's no question about it. that's expensive. That's like making a movie every
Every week,
constantly. The millions of dollars it must cost them for one episode. So that's what's driving it, is how much money are they bringing in versus how much. So yeah, are they, if they put in 5 more episodes, are they people going to keep
watching it?
Watching it for what, they get another $10 out of them?
That's
a
great point.
Does the money line up? You look what happened with Disney with the Acolyte. Acolyte was strictly like, the ratings sucked, therefore we're not going to make any more.
Yeah.
You can argue why the ratings sucked. That's another whole argument. But the fact of the matter is, people didn't watch the show.
And I would argue that as well intentioned as Brannon Braga is, and I kind of agree with him, I don't think it's going to happen, just for that exact point that you just said. And because the franchise itself acknowledges that there's a disconnect between its older viewers and this new stuff that they're putting out. It recognizes that the older viewers don't like this new stuff. It knows it. And yet it doesn't do anything to fix it. But it knows it.
They don't care, because they figure we're all going to die off eventually, and they want the younger viewers.
But the crazy thing is, they're not really attracting younger viewers. They're
younger in what sense? Younger than us, or younger than
viewers.
Like, are you talking like 20s and stuff? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not even going to begin to speculate on the demographics of who's watching it, but yeah, I think it was a huge mistake for them to alienate the older fans that really put them where they should be, where they are. You know what I'm saying? It is. I mean, it's those people that watched not only in the 60s and not only in the 70s, but the people that really watched TNG and all those other shows in the 90s, the golden era of Star Trek, if you will, of the 90s. And those are the fans who aren't that old. I mean, those fans are anywhere are in their 30s to up until the 60s. That's kind of the range right now, I think, of where the older fan is. So whether they're enjoying Strange New Worlds, I don't know. I think they had an opportunity with Strange New Worlds to pull in I think they could have done both. I think they could have appealed to younger viewers and appealed to the older ones by just sticking to canon and not making and knock off the silly episodes.
Yeah.
I think they could have. Write the Vulcans and Spock correctly. I don't think that would have made a difference to the younger viewers. It certainly makes a difference to the older ones.
Yes.
So I think that's where they're failing, is that they just abandoned one for the other, and rather than try to say, okay, I think they easily could have written it, made a show that both demographics would have liked.
Yeah. Bill is just saying he's on his. Yeah. Bill's just saying he's on his phone to type comments. The Facebook website has no comments. I don't have comments on my Facebook interface either. But guys, if you pop over to YouTube, you should be able to comment over there.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. Honestly, I don't. Facebook has been acting very strange of late.
Gone a little strange lately, yeah.
With the streaming. So there's almost a possibility we may. I was looking at not to about dumping it altogether on Facebook and just streaming YouTube.
We may move over to
it's
YouTube.
just more stable.
We will see. We will discuss.
Yeah. Because I can always relink it. Everybody's got YouTube. You don't need
everyone should have
YouTube to watch YouTube.
So guys, that's all I have for news tonight. Rizzo, what are we drinking tonight while we're fighting off zombies?
We are drinking this one. It's called a zombie. It's actually a rum zombie, I guess, technically, but you got Jamaican rum, you got Puerto Rican rum, you got 151 proof in there, lime juice, Don's Mix, which there's a separate recipe if you go to the webpage for that. You can get Don's
This Mix. Is complicated.
Yeah. I can't even read my own. But you got grenadine and
Falernum.
You have to Google that one.
Okay, I'm googling it.
Grenade, and bitters and mint with sprig. Basically, this is like the equivalent of a Long Island iced tea. So that's why I said, if you're gonna make one of these and drink it, you're probably gonna be pretty wasted just on one of them. So
Falernum is a combination of rum and then sugar, lime, spices, almonds, cloves, ginger, allspice, that kind of thing.
So there you go.
Sounds delicious. I think I would like it.
It sounds good, but it's a bit of it's not too complicated to make. You just got all that mixed together, but it's that Don's Mix. You got to go to the website. I didn't have room for all the stuff.
Chris says, "Drink this and you will lose your mind." No wonder it's called a zombie.
That's why I said drink it after the show because you'll probably pass out before the show.
It would knock you out.
I think it was named aptly.
Yeah, older fan here. I, in general, enjoy Strange New Worlds. You know what, Bill? Actually, I enjoy Strange New Worlds, but I see it as like separate. I don't link it. You know.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And you know, if you like something, don't just because we don't like it or I don't like it don't take that as an insult or it's fine. You're welcome to like it. I think they could. That's what I'm saying. I see glimmers of hope. There are some episodes that are good.
We really want things tied back in. That's what we want. But
I mean, I just want it. It doesn't. The thing is, first of all, the only way I watch it, since we're going to talk about this, the only way I watch it with any kind of not throwing something at the TV is okay. This is not Prime Universe. It's Disco Universe, which is not Prime Universe. So okay, we're going to give them some leeway. I just aggravates me that they've ruined the Spock character. In my opinion, it's just.
I almost see it as like fan
I don't think it's who the fans originally were, why they were fans of Spock initially. I think why Spock was so popular originally. I think they missed the mark. I think they don't understand how to write Vulcans, and I don't think they understand the Vulcans what their background is. And I know people go, canon's whatever the writers want. I love that. Canon can be whatever the writer wants to be. Yeah, but you kind of need the framework to stick within the universe.
There's a history. That's canon.
There's a framework. You're trying to make a building, and you're like, well, we'll just move the bottom floors around a little bit. It's just going to collapse. It just doesn't work. So, stay within the framework of the show. Why the
Bill thinks it's still better than insulting.
He thinks it's still really better. Stupid. I really think they think this is going to get the old fans. Oh yeah, we'll bring back the Gorn because it's a name from the old show. Like it's just a name from the old show, so we'll just take that. Oh yeah, the Metrons, we'll just take that. It's a thing from the old show, so the old folks will like it. They don't understand. I don't know who's writing this stuff, but
it's because they don't. They need like a little history lesson. Like they need to understand what Star Trek was trying to say back in the day.
I'd love to just talk to the writers and going, so what are you thinking when you did this?
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
You know what? We should like, okay, writers.
On them. It's like Dayton Ward, because he kept lower decks in line. That was his job.
Has never retconned. As far as I know, Dayton's never really retconned. Like in his novels, and I've only read a couple of them.
Yeah, but remember, novels can they have a lot of more leeway with a novel. But Dayton,
even in his novel, he doesn't retcon things.
No, he won't because he's a fan.
Because he's a fan.
He's a fan, but he was also in charge of keeping the writers for Lower Decks on track and not going off canon.
Yes.
And he would tell them, you could simply fix this by doing this. And that's all we're saying. There's a lot of stuff in Stranger Worlds that could be good, but it just needs a tweak to make it fit better and not piss off people.
Yeah.
The Gorn could have been anything, any other race. Just make up another race.
We get some Strange New World writers, and we're like, hey guys, so why the Gorn again? Why did you make them all scary? Because the old one wasn't scary. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Pick a different baddie.
Call it anything else. Anything.
Call it a new
something.
Or if you really need a mean, scary lizard thing, give it a new name. Yeah, call it something else.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't get that.
We were going to do a whole show on this and see we're doing it.
And we're doing the show now. You thought you were going to get zombies. No, we're just going to bitch about Stranger
Worlds. Are we ready? Are we ready for this?
Yes. Let's do zombies.
20 minutes in, and we haven't even hit the prime topic.
Zombies.
All right, so we're going to go from we picked 3 each, and then we have some honorable mentions. So we'll go my third, her third, so on and so on. Okay, so my number 3 for favorite zombie movies is Zombieland. This is it's very comedic, obviously. I think the funniest parts of it are the little anecdotes of, zombie kill of the week, and they'll do a little kind of flash away, what do they call that? And I think one of the funniest one was like the old nun that was being chased by the zombies, and she really set him up because she goes in a thing and she cuts a rope and a piano falls on the zombie, which is like very cartoon like. So I thought Zombieland was good. There's actually a sequel. There's Zombieland 2. The basic premise is, of course, that the world has. I don't think they explain how the zombies apocalypse happened. But this crew meets up and And I forget the main character
This,
there. What's his name? Is it?
wait, in explaining how
Eisner?
it happens, this is not the movie that starts with the opening is a news. It shows the news covering the story. No, this is not it. Okay, never mind.
No.
Never mind.
No,
I may be thinking of World War Z. I think I'm thinking of World War Z.
Oh yeah, so Jesse Eisenberg, him and obviously Woody Harrelson are the two main characters. So basically, Jesse Eisenberg is a typical nerd. He never came out of his apartment. He was playing video games all the time and drinking the old the Code Red there, the Mountain Dew Code Red, and he had a crush on the pretty girl that lived down the hall, and so he was oblivious that the whole world was falling apart as he was kind of just playing games online and never coming out. And then, of course, the girlfriend, I shouldn't say the girl lived down the hall. She comes in, but she'd been bitten. And that's kind of where his story because, of course, we learn all this in flashbacks. And then he meets up with Woody Harrelson, who's basically a very big Dale Earnhardt fan, because he keeps writing the number 3 on every car he takes that he uses, because there's cars everywhere. He just take whatever. And they team up, and then they run into the two women who are and I forget their actresses' names. Pardon my Emma Stone, isn't it? And Abigail, yeah. Okay.
Emma? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's Emma Stone and Abigail Breslin.
I love Abigail Breslin.
Anyway, so the two of them are caught up. They kind of steal their car. They basically trick them into stealing the car, and they end up going out. Their whole goal was to go out west and find a safe place to live. That's basically the story, but it's very comical. I find it enjoyable. I mean, it's zombies in general. It's hard to take too seriously, and I think in general as kind of a topic. So I like ones that have the comedy in it. So that's
completely agree with that. I also chose some funny ones.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what your opinion of this movie film is. I think it's a fun one. Even the second one wasn't bad.
Yeah, the zombie. No, is it still called Zombieland or Double Tap or something like that?
I think it's called Zombieland Double Tap, because that was the other great thing about this movie. He had all his rules. And he would say like cardio, rule number 2, cardio, always, because you always got to run. And that was one of his rule, whatever number was double tap, always, just shoot them twice basically to make sure they're dead.
Yeah. This is the one where she's in the back of the car and she's changing. The one girl's changing and they're like, oh, and they have to pull over and kick her out and shoot her or something. It's like,
I don't remember. Maybe. I don't remember every single scene, but yeah, that's kind of it. It's just a silly, he's looking. The other thing that's funny is, Woody Harrelson's looking for a Twinkie. He wants a Twinkie bad for whatever reason. They come across a Hostess truck that's crashed. They're like, okay, this must be the gold mine, and it's full of snowballs, which you guys know. There's not a Twinkie in the truck. It's all snowballs, which are the coconut covered chocolate with white frosting. And
then you got like coconut or something. Yeah,
like coconut on them. And of course, Jesse Eisenberg's chowing on these things like, oh, they're still fresh. It's like, I don't want that coconut crap. I want a Twinkie.
I want a Twinkie.
So it was kind of funny that, in fact, I think Family Guy did it. I don't know if it was they stole it, but Family Guy had an episode where they were in a post-apocalyptic world and they found a Twinkie factory. That's how they live. That's how they survive. Because
that's the good thing. And from now on, guys, when you see nods to Twinkies in zombie movies, you know where it came from.
Yeah. So
that's how these memes are born.
Yeah. So I don't know which one came first. I'd have to look at which movie came out or whatever thing. But the basic idea is that, they always joke is that Twinkies will survive the nuclear holocaust and still be edible because of all the chemicals in them and stuff like that. So
because it's plastic food, guys. It's plastic food.
Right. So that was so anyway, any thoughts?
Yeah, great choice. Super popular film. Bill is saying Stranger World has zombies last season. That's true. It did.
Yeah. So I mean, the best thing about Zombieland, and most of mine they're good popcorn movies, and all these are good popcorn movies. None of these are like deep thinkers.
No, not well. 2 of mine are not.
Most of them are not deep.
One of them I'm going to want to talk about a little bit. Yeah. My number one, I'm going to talk about.
All right. So Mary Beth's number 3.
I chose Warm Bodies.
Now, I've never seen this, so go.
Okay, so Warm Bodies is a romantic zombie comedy. It's a romantic comedy with zombies, so it's a zom-rom-com, and I just really love saying zom-rom-com a lot. But it stars Nicholas Hoult, which cracks me up because you picked that movie with Jesse Eisenberg, who played Lex Luthor in. Wait, did he play Lex Luthor? Yeah, he did. And this is Nick Hoult, who just played
a
Lex
baddie
Luthor
in one of the movies. Yeah, I can't remember. Was it Lex Luthor?
In like Batman versus Superman, he played.
Yeah, he played a baddie in one of those movies.
In those that era stuff. Yeah.
Was it that, or was it like Riddler or something?
Yeah, it was something. He was running around bald for a minute there. Anyway, okay. So this film, this is he's gonna transform our zombie is gonna transform back into a human through the power of love, which sounds cheesy and probably is, but the film explores themes like humanity and compassion and redemption. And it has a lot of charm from its very witty narration by Nick Hoult. And the thing with it is these concepts of like, humanity or whatever, in all the best sci-fi and some of the best horror, in fact, all the best movies in general, they're examining the human experience. Like it's a mirror reflecting back at you. And this movie does exactly that. Like it has really good statements on, compassion and, trying to emphasize the importance of connection and empathy and community and not dehumanize people, which could be applicable nowadays, just saying. Anyway, yes, Nick Hoult has a very, very funny narration. He plays the lead, and the movie introduced bonies. Now bonies are much more skeletal. Like they're zombies that are so old that they're basically skeletal, but they're fast. And they are scary. And the movie does make them very scary. So when we get to my number 2, before we started the show, I was like, does the thing in my number 2 count as a zombie? But since it does in this movie, yes, it counts as a zombie. Bonies, if you're down to bonies,
I've always had issues with fast zombies.
Really?
The zombies traditionally they're supposed to be, they're all half dead, and so they really shouldn't be able to run.
All right.
So, which kind of, I've never seen this, so I'm not picking on it, but I'm like, the fact that he is cognizant and aware of this other woman and in love with this other woman, does that really make him, because zombies are just dead husks?
Yeah, you're right. So this movie has levels of infected, and Rob Corddry plays a hilarious newly infected guy. But they have levels of infected, and when you're still kind of newly infected, you still retain some level of.
Yeah, I didn't know the movie, so okay, they established
it's very interesting. It's very interesting, and Nick Holt's character is kind of pretty far gone, and he's now rediscovering his humanity versus Rob Corddry's character, who's losing his humanity. It's pretty hilarious. It's kind of a modern take on Romeo and Juliet, maybe, I guess, if you really stretch it. But his observation, he's very self-deprecating. His observations are funny. It's a very unique perspective from inside a zombie's head. And yeah, I mean, it's just, if you don't like super gory zombie movies or heavy, like big on the jump scares, this is a lighter take. And it focuses more on emotions and stuff. And so I don't think the other girls like it or whatever, but it's just, I think, a really great reflection of humanity, and it has a lot of heart. Like it's a very sweet movie. So that's why it is my number 3 position.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Again, I don't have much to say on this because I've never seen it.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just recommending it.
All right. So my number 2 is Resident Evil.
I wanted to check this one.
This is kind of zombie. Yes, I call it. It is the zombies. It's caused by a T virus, as they call it. And this is, to me, it's not just the original movie. It's the whole franchise. And the reason people say it gets ridiculous at points. I mean, the franchise has gone on and gotten more silly and more. There's even and I don't know how well it did because they never did more. But Netflix actually had a TV show of Resident Evil.
Oh, that's right. It did.
And it did. And it was good. I thought it was pretty good. And it was entertaining. And that's what these, again, Resident Evil is popcorn movie type stuff. The first one, I think, was really, of course, the best of the series. When we get down into Raccoon City, and kind of down in
I
there
love that
the underground, and the girl that's the AI who's basically trying to kill them. So there's multiple things going on in the movie because we got Mila, who's kind of she was also infected with the T virus, but it didn't affect her like everybody else. It made her more strong and powerful, whatever. Whereas everybody else, it made into like monsters. And then you got the AI who's trying to kill them because they're trying to get to the whole get out, I guess, right? Get back in. I can't remember.
Yeah.
You're either trying to get in or get out, one or the other in every movie.
They're trying to. No. The very first one, they're trying to get to the Red Queen to disable her or something.
Yeah, that's the AI.
Yeah.
So, because eventually, what happens in the whole Resident Evil universe is the T-virus eventually gets out of Raccoon City and infects the entire world, and there's basically an apocalypse. So, and there's actually a one called Resident Evil Apocalypse. So, and again, the cities are overrun with all these weird. It's very a lot like in some ways The Last of Us, where there's all these kind of weird versions. They're not all the same. There's different monsters. Some of them are giant creatures, and other ones are smaller and faster. And so that's kind of the thing with these. I mean, I don't know. I just find them entertaining. They're, like I said, they're usually they're usually not very long. They're always under 2 hours. So that's a priority with me.
Here's the thing with Resident Evil. I had wanted to choose this one. It had been on my list, and I actually watched it this weekend because I thought I was going to be doing it. It still holds up. This thing is based on a game, right? It's based on a game.
Correct. It is
an excellent action plus horror comedy hybrid. Like, it's a horror action hybrid. But it still looks, it's fun. You're right. It's fun as a popcorn movie. It still looks good. The scene with the Dobermans still looks excellent to this day. When they're already zombied out, they look
the zombie dogs.
And the scene in that corridor with the lasers this day,
where the guy gets sliced into a million pieces. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. That's the thing. I mean, the movie is just graphic enough to make it enjoyable, but not like, okay, this was over the top and not necessary. Yeah, if that makes any sense.
Mila is excellent. Of course, we know and love Mila from Fifth Element, and she's maybe kind of like Leeloo in that she's sort of an action, Yeah,
I mean, she's definitely fitting that. She's kind of been typecast since Fifth Element.
Yeah.
But she does these movies well. And she'll keep making them as long as they keep giving her a check,
Yeah, they keep giving her money.
They're gonna make it. They're gonna when you're 90, they're gonna still make.
Yeah, you'll be doing these movies till you're 90, Mila. The other thing is I want to mention is the music is pretty awesome, and just the aesthetic. Like, it is a different aesthetic because they're down in the first movie. They're down in that.
They're down in the lab.
Going down under Raccoon City. The aesthetic is really cool and really different, and I appreciate it. I like it. It was a fresh. At the time when it came out, it was really fresh.
Yeah. Clearly, each movie got bigger budgets because they were basically moved out of the underground city and then into the world. So they were able to have that. It does carry a storyline. So they are kind of carrying each movie kind of because, of course, it's Alice who's the character. It's kind of always involves Alice at some point.
Yes.
And it's always this kind of common thread through them all that connects.
Everybody else getting killed around her.
That was one thing they didn't do in the TV show I don't think there was any reference to Alice.
No, I don't think so either.
And I think that might have been a mistake, of course, but then again, maybe they didn't want to pay Mila the money to
Bill. Resident
hip replacement. Yeah. No kidding. But that was a joke from Deadpool. Make you do this, and they're not wrong. Look at poor Patrick Stewart.
I'm gonna make you do this until what? That's not funny.
And Harrison Ford. So anyway, this was my number 2, and that
is a great pick. Like I said, I wanted it, but it's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good. There's too many zombie movies.
Actually, I believe your next one was going to be. I kind of regret not picking, but I'm glad you did pick it because this way we could talk about it because we did do it on the show. And if I remember when we did on the show, this was a make me watch for you.
Yes, it was. I believe this was our very first make me
It
watch.
might have been, yeah, and yeah. I think Kent joined us that one because he
I
was
believe
a
he
fan
did.
of it.
I
So
believe
it is. If you haven't figured it out already.
Everyone knows.
Army of Darkness. Now this is a
Ash.
favorite of mine. First of all, yeah, Army of Darkness. This is probably the best in the series.
Agreed.
Of the
Yeah.
Evil Dead series.
Evil Dead
It
is
is the
fun, but
funnest
this
of
is
them all. It is hysterical. It has the best one-liners. I mean, it's just
this is my
there's so many good things. You got all the Harryhausen skeleton zombies, whatever you want to call them. There's so many great things about this movie.
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree. So this, yes, I believe this was our first Make Me Watch. And like I just mentioned, in Warm Bodies, there are bonies. They are down to pretty much bone, but they're fast and they're scary. This thing has a bone skeleton army, an entire army of skeletons.
They're all undead. There's no question about it. They come up out of the ground.
Yes, they come up out of the ground. And before I started the show, I was like, Rizzo, does this actually count? But no, I say it does. It absolutely does count. Now, guys, in all fairness, this movie has a lot going on. It doesn't just have zombies. It's got all kinds of crap. Yeah. If you like medieval times, you might like this movie. If you like witches and their spells and the what the hell the name of the book was?
Necronomicon.
This movie is for you. If you like Cadillacs falling out of the sky, this movie is for you. If you like guys with chainsaws, this movie is for you. If you like Rizzo said, if you like Harryhausen and stop motion stuff, this movie is for you. There's so much going on in this movie.
It's such, I don't know how to describe it. It's got a lot going for it. It's so many little things. It's fun.
Ash is our anti-hero. We love him.
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell back in the day.
Give me some sugar, baby, is the line. Give me some sugar, baby.
This thing has cult classic status.
Absolutely.
It has incredible borrowed lines, like the line you have to say "Klaatu Barada Nikto," which we know comes straight out of when the world's
no, that's you're making me forget now.
Sorry, I had it right on the tip of my tongue too.
Oh God, yes, it's the 1950s. When the Earth stood still, right?
The Earth stood still. Yeah.
The Earth stood still.
And so they call their zombies Deadites. Deadites?
Yeah.
Deadites.
Yeah.
It's fine. Whatever. Same thing. But yeah, I mean, this is firmly in the zombie comedy, the zomcom category. And it is absolutely absurd and over the top, but you know what? It's fun.
I think to me the zomcom, as you put it, is the best for kind of zombie movie.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
I think when they're too serious. I mean, I don't know. I find them. I don't know. I find zombies much more enjoyable and fun when there's a certain amount of silliness in it, because the whole concept is silly. So I mean.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they're trying to hold a mirror, like they say, look at you, you're just trudging along like a zombie, and they're trying to like reflect back on the audience. Okay, sure, great, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, I'm going to tell you right now, spoiler alert: none in our list was World War Z.
No, we did not include.
None of us picked it. My thing is because, and I had seen it, and it's an okay movie, but it didn't. I didn't really. All I saw in World War Z was this global problem, and the zombies were just running everywhere. And I don't like running zombies. Kind of like, we saw the kind of similar thing. Now, I don't know if they were vampires or zombies, but in I Am Legion with Will Smith, which is again a remake.
I thought about.
Again, running zombies that are faster than humans just don't work for me, because they're supposed to be dead. And barely, I can't even run fast when I'm alive.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand why they get faster.
I Am Legion or Legend? I don't know. There was, I guess I one of those. No, Chris Roach agrees with you that zombies do not run.
I thought it was it's Legion.
You were right. I think it's Legion. I don't know why I was thinking of something else.
So
or Omega Man. I don't know. Something.
Well, that was a remake of Charlton Heston Omega Man.
Yeah,
there was no hiding that they did make that. That one's not on the list either, guys. Spoiler.
Yeah,
not that they were necessarily bad movies. It's just I don't know. I just it didn't work for us. These are our opinions. You guys obviously,
these are our favorites.
And please, if
But,
there's
I mean,
something,
we
there's a
do
film
both
in here
have
that you guys
honorable
think,
mentions. So
yeah, if you guys think that we've missed something, at the end,
yeah,
certainly
if there's a really
during,
good one out there
tell
that
us.
you think we should watch, it's Halloween
So,
month. I'm happy to watch some scary stuff this year.
my thing is, if you haven't never seen Army of Darkness, you need to go see Army of Darkness, and you don't necessarily need to see Evil Dead, which is the
Evil,
Evil
no, you
Dead,
don't
Evil
need to
Dead
see Evil
2.
Dead. You can
You
just
don't need
watch
to
Army
see
of Darkness.
those. Evil Dead 2
And
is
then
just a
put your
remake of Evil
tongue
Dead.
firmly in your cheek because
Yeah, it's
that's
fun.
where this thing
No.
is.
I'm just saying they give you enough. They give you enough prequel information, in this movie to know what's going on and why we're at with this film. So, all right, moving on. So that was your what? Your second?
My
No,
number 2. So
that was
now
your
we're up
number
to
two.
honorable mentions, I think.
No, we're still got to get to number one.
Oh, we're doing honorable mentions after number 1.
So my number 1 is, you probably guessed it, Shaun of the Dead.
What a great movie.
You got Red on you. To the Winchester. You probably figured it out just by what and yeah, this movie's so much fun. And I just like the fact that for like half the movie they're clueless that their whole part of the city has been taken over by zombies, and because his whole life is kind of like being a zombie. There's kind of some kind of tongue in cheek, his boring life, and he doesn't even notice that the people around him aren't dead.
Yeah, he walks in the convenience store and he's completely oblivious to
gets
the
his
sign
Coke like he
all
does every morning, puts the money down, walks out, goes back out. There's stuff going around him, and he's just nope. So yeah, it's just hysterical. And then they find the woman in the back, and they think she's they don't know what's wrong with her at first. Then they realize she's a zombie. They start throwing records.
Yeah. The way they treat zombies in this movie is so hilarious.
So yeah, it's really funny. Ultimately, they end up at the bar, the Winchester, which is to the Winchester. So he thought they're all going to be safe. Hold up, because the Winchester. Remember now, England doesn't have guns like we have guns. So the fact that the guy had a rifle, a Winchester rifle, in the bar was a big deal. And of course that's where they were going there, and they're like, there was always this argument whether he kept it loaded or not. And we did a whole show on this movie, so if you want to, you can go back through the archives and find it.
Yes.
So
we did, and it was fun.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Of course, I was at Star Trek Las Vegas this last summer, where Simon Pegg was. He was there because, of course, his connection with Scotty, playing Scotty. There was a lot of people dressed up in the white Smart Tech shirts and red ties, and of course I had him sign. When I had him sign the photograph, I had him put to the Winchester on there, because that's really what I love him from, and not so much Scotty. Although I think he was fine as Scotty. I don't have an issue.
He was okay as Scotty.
Yeah, he was an okay Scotty. So anyway,
Bill is making the observation that here on Sci-Fi Distilled, one of our number 1 movies is about going to a bar during a zombie
apocalypse. Where else could you go?
That is on brand for us.
You figure it's a good point. That's an excellent point, Bill, because if you're gonna die and you're gonna die horribly, you might as well be drunk off your ass when you do it, right?
Just be in a bar.
So, cheers. Right, that whole scene, of course, was funny, and then the guy that was the bartender was actually a stunt man, and he was actually able to do the stunt of them beating him.
The old guy, the really old guy, yeah.
The old guy that was the bartender, of course, he had been turned, and they accidentally, trying to be quiet, they accidentally start the jukebox, and of course, it's Queen's "Can't Stop Me Now," which is a very, so they do this whole choreographed fight to that song, which is really funny. Of course, by then now the zombies all know where they are, and they're trying to break in.
And they're all trying to break into the bar, yeah.
Yeah, and then, of course, it ends up that it wasn't a global thing. It was just a section of London, and then, of course, they kept some of the zombies around, and they're using them for game shows and silly things. And, of course, his buddy there, and I forget the actor's name, the guy with the shovel.
I can't remember the buddy's name.
He gets turned at the end, and, of course, he's just keeping him
he's living in the shed out back.
Playing video games with him, so he's still got his buddy. So, belated Lugosi hate.
Yeah, Bella. He's talking about Bella. Yes, Chris. We're gonna be talking about that coming up here real quick.
Oh, okay. So that was, I mean, you love it, I love it. That's my number one pick for Shaun of the Dead.
It's an excellent number one pick.
And it was almost as soon as you said this is what we should do, immediately this popped up as my favorite. And along with Army of Darkness, and some of the Evil Deads, I will rewatch occasionally. Evil Dead's not Evil Dead. The Resident Evil, I usually don't seek it out, but when you see, it's on, I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah. Like I don't seek it out, but it's on, I'll watch them. So. Anyway, I guess that brings up to your number one.
My number one
is the granddaddy of all zombie movies.
Yes.
The original Night of the Living Dead, not the remake with our friend.
With our friend Patricia. Although, if that's the only one you can find, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's still a good version of it. But the original, of course, is the one that really kind of put zombie movies on the map.
Yes, and here's why, guys. Let me talk about that. Just a little tiny zombie history fact for you. Prior to this movie, prior to George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, which was 1968, zombie movies, and Chris just mentioned one, 1938 had a movie called White Zombie. And all zombie movies like that, from like White Zombie and all the zombie movies before this movie, they weren't really undead. They were just under mind control. Like, it was voodoo mind control. And so they might have been stumbling around, kind of zoned out, but they weren't really undead. And then along came George Romero, and he's like, you know what? Let's make them dead and coming back to life. And let's make them need to feast on the flesh of the living. That'll be good and scary. And that changed zombie movies from then on. And we've, that's been the model for zombies for then on. This is such a fantastic historical movie for a number of reasons. It is described as an allegory reflecting social and cultural upheaval in the 60s. It touched on themes of race, paranoia, systemic collapse. Again, themes that could be applicable to modern times, just saying. George Romero cast Dwayne Jones as his leading man. Casting an African-American was absolutely groundbreaking and a significant departure from what they were doing at the time. Then they had the female as the second. Well, they usually have a female as the second. He used black and white. 1968, they had color by then. He kept it in black and white, which created a great atmosphere. It was a little claustrophobic at times. There was murder, there was cannibalism. Like, it was this over the top, crazy, impactful horror film, and it really is, as Rizzo just said, the granddaddy of modern zombie movies. The Library of Congress did select it for preservation in 1999, noting it as culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. And you can't do a top zombie movies without
even mentioning it. I think it's a good point that you made, that up until this movie, zombies were always kind of related to like voodoo, and like I said, they were really people that were alive that were just controlled. They had lost their mind, or whatever, were fully controlled by the witch doctor or whatever. And it wasn't really an undead thing per se. They were just completely So this did change that to an undead thing, and they didn't run.
They didn't run, but they were still terrifying. Yeah. Like only George Romero could be like, no, just sort of amble along. But it was still horrific. You were still like, oh my God.
Yeah. So
when the movies do make them run, that is scary too. But I get that you don't want them to run, because it's that slow burn. You know what it is? It's that slow burn tension.
Yeah, I mean, if they're running after you and they're faster than the average human, I think it's just like, it's like you're being constantly attacked by wild dogs or lions or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to give the living a fighting chance. And the fact that the dead don't move very fast, but they're unrelenting, I think is the key. You know what I'm saying? And it's usually not just one, because we all know one's pretty easy to kill or get rid of. It's when you have hordes of them, which is kind of what they did a lot on. We haven't really talked about Walking Dead, because we're talking about
we haven't, because that's a different kind
of some of the scarier episodes of that, when they actually had zombies in them and it wasn't just human on human, were the hordes of zombies that were just like, thousands of them that you couldn't really, or hard to, to get away from that many. So
Bill.
Anyway,
so yeah, it just what Chris was saying is White Zombie, the movie from 1938 that had the voodoo style zombie that did star Bela Lugosi,
right?
And maybe Vincent. No, maybe not.
I might have had Vincent Price in it. I don't know. That was.
I don't know. I can look it up really quick.
Yeah.
When I look up White Zombie, I just get the metal band.
So, all right. So we're gonna move into that's our tops. So then now we're gonna move.
Those are our tops.
Mentions. So our first honorable mention is, and this is one of your 28 Days Later. I don't.
Yeah, 28 days later.
Yeah, I don't think I saw this movie, honestly.
I don't know how good it is, but it's got some longevity. And of course, you guys know there's 28 weeks later and 28 years later. 28 years later was just released this past June.
So, I heard mixed reviews on that. So I don't know. I guess
humanizes the
somebody wakes up from a coma or something, right?
Yeah.
I never seen it. So, yeah. So that's basically the plot of The Walking Dead. Now, who ripped who off? I don't know. That's how The Walking Dead starts. Is Rick, the policeman, the main character, is shot. He
wakes up in the hospital.
Coma. He's in the hospital. He wakes up from the hospital, and the entire world has gone to hell. In however long he was out, and he finds
Walking Dead and Last of Us are two excellent contemporary television zombies.
The Walking Dead. I loved The Walking Dead for like the first 3 or 4 seasons.
And then it was
then I started to go, okay, this is getting repetitive.
They're still filming it.
Well, they're filming the original show has ended finally, but they're spin-off upon spin-off. And it's like it's just the milking of it has gotten crazy. I'm like, maybe they must feel there's people watching it. I don't know. I think because Walking Dead definitely had a resurgence of the zombie popularity. It seemed to it peaked there for a while. Everything was zombies. There was a zombie survival guide textbook. I have it here somewhere, which is kind of funny. But it we could do a whole show on that show. But to me, it got ridiculous.
Speaking of the spinoff, completely unrelated side note. So they filmed the spinoff I'm from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. Next town over is Worcester. They filmed the spinoff in Worcester, and recently Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in Worcester with his band. And they, of course, all the news outlets were like showing all these pictures. Ooh, Hollywood star in Worcester, da 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 da. And my entire family was like, of course, it figures that whenever they need a city to look like it's post-apocalyptic, they choose Worcester because Worcester Worcester looks like that already. You don't need
is not known for its culture, and
Worcester's just a hot mess. But I love my hometown.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
But anyway,
yeah. So, hey, when they were looking for
honorable
Fallout, one of the locations in Fallout was in Glens Falls, New York. So.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah. The gas station when they went to the Red Rocket gas station that was in Glens Falls or Queensbury, somewhere in that area. I should have kicking myself. I should have took a ride out there to find it. Because I would have loved to have seen that. But anyway, moving on. All right, next honorable mention is The Evil Dead, and this is across the whole. I know we talked about the one.
He was the comedian Bill, yeah.
The Evil Dead series from Evil Dead through Army of Darkness is as a whole, but the original movie, of course, was a college film, and then he basically redid it. So if you haven't seen any of them, just watch Evil Dead 2. There's really no reason to watch the original because it's the same exact story basically. With the Evil Dead 2 has better effects, and it leads directly into Army of Darkness.
Yeah. You know what? Skip all that. Just watch Army of Darkness.
You can watch Army. Yeah. So the Evil Dead series is much scarier. They're not as silly as nearly as.
Yeah. Whereas Army of Darkness is deliberately absurd.
Yeah. Army of Darkness is definitely more silly. Evil Dead was trying to be more serious, and there was some really good effects and really scary looking zombie evilly. They're like possessed or something, but they weren't.
Yeah, Sam Raimi did a good job with these. There's nothing wrong with them.
And then there was a TV show on, which is Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah, Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah, which is, again, it all still has Bruce Campbell in it, who's we all love. So, yeah. So that's my honorable mention for that. What else do we have? You had picked this one, Night of the Comet. This is an 80s, typical 80s movie.
80s, Valley Girls fight zombies, whatever. I mean, it's just this was one of those ones that would be on late night TV. Like you'd be flipping through and it was always on for a stretch there. Like when cable first became a thing, they needed content. So he would play this thing for some reason.
Yeah.
It just was on a lot.
The basic premise is a meteor or something passes close to Earth or something in it, or a comet, and it, I don't know. But for some reason, these girls, some of the people were like inside and they weren't affected. So they go out and half the planet, or most of the planet, is taken over by zombies. I don't know. Yeah, it's. I saw it once a million years ago, and I barely. In fact, until you mentioned that,
you don't. You would never remember it. It just seemed to get a lot. Maybe it was just my region, like my television region. But it just every time I turned around, it was on the TV again.
The main character there, she's also the one from Last Starfighter.
Oh, is she? Oh, cool.
Yeah, she was the love interest, I believe so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like her.
All right. So, yeah. So.
All right, moving on.
All right, moving on. This is another one that you picked, Train to Busan. I've never seen it.
Okay,
I have heard it's very good. This is a Korean movie.
This is a Korean, yes. Yeah.
So basically, zombies on a train.
But it got mad good reviews, and people like this movie. So yeah, maybe one of these nights I will check it out. I hear it's scary.
Yeah, so I haven't seen it.
Although nobody does horror like Asia. Asia does some horror like. Woo.
Is it subtitled or is it? I just can't.
I don't know.
I can't watch a movie like this and try to be reading and paying attention to what's going on.
I can do both. Yeah. That doesn't bother me. I love hearing the original language because then you can hear the inflection in their voice, whereas sometimes the dubbing doesn't quite capture.
Yeah, no, I get it. They got to improve the dubbing a bit. That's always kind of been bad. I don't know how you improve it, but so anyway, guys, that is our total zombie. I think whatever you want to call it. Our zombie list.
Oh, and we mentioned 28 everything later and train. Okay, good. That is.
That's all of them.
What are your favorite zombie movies, guys?
Yeah, nobody's really put up anything that they thought we should have. Is there anything on the list? Anything that wasn't on the list that should, or something that you feel shouldn't have been on the list?
Yeah, something that I was wrong on.
I don't think there's anything wrong because of course these are all opinions. But I think there's so many movies, but I think we had to pick out the ones that we like the best. And like I said, as far as zombies go, I like them on the silly side.
I do too. If you do watch Night of the Living Dead, guys, this is another one of those movies, like I mentioned, that holds the mirror up to society. So I love that.
That movie's like one of those you have to watch. It's like a horror requirement.
It's like a horror requirement. It has a really nihilistic ending. Like life is meaningless ending. Love that. I love me a good depressing film.
It's kind of like the original Universal monsters. You got to kind of watch those old.
Yeah. Just so you have that history.
Or the Hammer House stuff.
You have to have the history. Yep.
Yeah, the Hammer House, all those vampire movies with women with big breasts.
Oh, the Hammer films, yeah.
All the Hammer films,
Lee.
Yeah, with talking about Christopher Lee. So anyway, that's about it. What do Roy and
Roy this Friday, so Friday the 10th, so in 2 days, Roy is doing a movie from 1977 called The Sentinel. What a cast on this thing! Chris Sarandon, Ava Gardner, Nana Visitor, Burgess Meredith, Christopher Walken, Jeff Goldblum, John Carradine, Jerry Orbach, Tom Berenger, and Beverly D'Angelo. Holy cow! And some others. And the premise sounds like an interesting. Like I might need to check out this film. The premise sounds very interesting and different and original, which you get so rarely nowadays. Phil, it's Prague Stock, which is the big progressive rock festival. So he will be giving you updates on that on all of his regular shows. He will be, of course, also on Bill McNulty's Politics hour 2. So that's what Rizzo. What are we doing next week?
I can't remember what we said. I want to say we said.
I feel like it was vampires.
I think it was vampires, or yeah. I guess it wasn't werewolves. I guess it was vampires.
What did I write? I wrote top vampires.
So we're gonna do the same thing we did tonight, just with vampire movies.
I love.
So if you have suggestions, please send them our way because the chat must have started working again since all the people are.
Yeah, some of you, but my chat's not working. I went to click laughing on one of yours, Bill, and I still don't have a chat interface, so I'm not sure how you fix that.
You wonder if it just refresh your browser. Usually, some of that makes it. Anyway, yeah. So if you have ideas for zombie movies, I'm gonna have to kind of think about this one about what.
Because there's a lot of right. There's
been so many versions of Dracula and other versions of just random vampire movies.
And then there's like Anne Rice and Lestat and all those guys.
Silly ones. There's Vamcoms.
Funny ones, yeah.
And
then there's True Blood. Did you guys watch True Blood? I could not miss True Blood every week.
True Blood was, and then I think back, I'm like, God, that show was weird.
That show is looking back. It's not that good of a show. I don't know why it has such a chokehold on us.
That would just be TV though.
Yeah,
you could put it there if you really wish to. You may put that in, but yeah. So I mean, there are, like I said, there's some, as you how do you put Vam rom-coms.
There's probably some Vam rom-coms.
There are definitely some Loving It. Dead and Loving It.
There are some Vam rom-com novels out there.
So yeah, there's definitely.
Chris wants us to watch the BBC version of Dracula.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
I don't know where. Yeah, I mean, I think the last version of Dracula I thought was the really old one with the Bram Stoker's Dracula with Keanu Reeves and Gary Oldman as Dracula.
I may choose that one. I like that one.
That was pretty good. It wasn't bad. It was pretty good. So. And yeah, all
right, we'll have to fight it out. Like, it'll probably be the same exact thing again, where I picked some, and then I found out Rizzo had also picked some, so I had to pick something different.
It may not be as obvious as this one was because I don't know. I have to really think about it. I don't really know. I'm trying to think.
We have to actually research this one.
So, and then I think we'll do alien movies that are.
We're both gonna pick Close Encounters.
Not necessarily. I mean,
no, you know me. I'll pick Vast of Night.
Yeah, you'll pick
because I talk about it every year.
You do. I know. You just like that's gonna be your number one.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I didn't.
And there's no actual aliens in it. Wait. Can we just be a UFO movie, or does it have to actually have aliens in it?
I don't care. Whatever. It could be just a UFO. It doesn't have to be. It could be Alien, which is
Yeah, it could be Alien. Fair. That's.
Tell you right now.
So you pick aliens, and aliens.
That's pretty much.
Here's my top 3.
Here's my 3.
And I'm over there. Oh, I like Close Encounters.
Yeah, no, Close Encounters. Well, you got ET. You got all kinds of. You got silly.
Oh
yeah,
there's
silly
ET.
ones. What was the one that you got?
There's Mac and Me.
That's good. You
got Last Starfighter. There's Enemy Mine.
I mean, there's a lot of alien movies that are good. What was the one that Patrick Reed Johnson did with the silly alien one?
Mac and Me, I think.
It was like he just I can't think of it. I can't think of it, but it was a silly, silly Martian movie. So anyway, the alien one I think will be quite a vampire. I gotta think
maybe it was Slay the Navigator. I don't know if that counts. Slay the Navigator. Communion, Signs, Fire in the Sky. Oh, there's
there's a lot of aliens. I'm saying there's a lot of aliens. It's hard to pick them up.
You guys.
There's probably going to be a bunch that are going to have to get boiled down to
my honorable mention list might be pretty long. The Day the Earth Stood Still, that counts. That counts.
Starship Invasions or the Alien Factor, Jeff saying. Okay. Starman, yeah, that's an alien one.
Starman, that counts. Oh, we might need to narrow this genre down just
Starman. We did Starman too on our show, Bill. If you remember,
a
year or two ago, we did it around Valentine's Day. Something.
Yeah, we did because it was like a romantic movie.
He was supposed to do like a romantic.
Earth Girls Are Easy.
Earth Girls Are Easy.
Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis.
That was not good. I don't think that's going to make my list. Anyway, yeah, but we put out more vampire ones because I think we need more help there. So,
Yeah.
all right. On that note, it is already after 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we gotta go.
But thank you guys for hanging in there. As usual, of course. Well, those of you who might be around on Halloween and got nothing to do, come on up to the set tour.
Yep, it is a Friday. It is a work day, but if you want to take the day off,
we'll be there doing Halloween things. I don't know what we're doing, but beyond that,
we will be running
live
around.
Live long and prosper, and may the force be with you always. Good night.